Hello fans! Welcome back to GH Spoilers channel. Today, we will learn about the issue that is shaking Port Charles to its very core. The aftermath of the custody battle. The long-awaited victory of Michael Corinthos, and the explosive consequences now unfolding for Drew Cain. As tensions boil over, hidden agendas are exposed, and the thirst for justice fuels a stunning betrayal that may change everything for these once close allies. After weeks of legal back-and-forth, emotional confrontations, and a courtroom drama that held the entire town in suspense, Michael Corinthos finally emerged victorious in the custody battle for his two beloved children, Wiley and Amelia. The moment the judge handed down the final ruling, Michael was overwhelmed with a mixture of relief and gratitude. For months, he had fought tirelessly to prove that he could provide a stable, loving home for the children only that was free of chaos, deceit, and manipulation. Now, with the law on his side, Michael could finally begin to rebuild the family life he had always dreamed of. Carly Spencer was right by Michael's side to witness the judge's ruling, and her reaction was nothing short of elation. As a mother herself, Carly understood the emotional toll the custody battle had taken on her son. She had watched him struggle through heartbreak, betrayal, and the gut-wrenching realization that the woman he once loved, Willow, had not only turned against him in court but had also allowed herself to be manipulated by Drew. Carly had warned Michael from the beginning that Drew couldn't be trusted, and now her instincts had been proven right. With Wiley and Amelia officially under Michael's care, Carly vowed to help him provide the children with the loving, supportive environment they deserved. However, Michael's joy was not without a dark undercurrent. Beneath the surface of celebration lay a simmering anger that had been building for months. Drew Cain had not only inserted himself into Michael's family but had also played a pivotal role in driving a wedge between Michael and Willow. Drew's manipulative tactics during the custody proceedings, his alliance with Nina, and his underhanded attempts to damage Michael's reputation had finally reached a breaking point. Michael had made a decision. Drew needed to pay for everything he had done. And beknownst to Drew, Michael had been quietly collecting evidence against him for weeks. Using his connections in the business world and leveraging resources at Aurora and ELQ, Michael began digging into Drew's financial records, business dealings, and political affiliations. What he uncovered was damning evidence of financial mismanagement, improper campaign donations, insider trading, and conflicts of interest that stretched back months. Michael carefully compiled every piece of evidence into a dossier that painted Drew not only as an unethical businessman, but as someone who had used his influence to manipulate others for personal gain. With the information in hand, Michael made his move. He turned the file over to the Port Charles Police Department, knowing that Dante Falconeri would be the one assigned to the case. Dante, though a friend to both men, had a duty to uphold the law, and the evidence Michael provided left no room for doubt. Drew's arrest warrant was issued swiftly, and within hours, the once respected businessman and aspiring politician was taken into custody. The moment of Drew's arrest was nothing short of explosive. As officers arrived at his office, Drew initially dismissed the situation as a misunderstanding. But when Dante arrived with the warrant in hand and presented the evidence, Drew's composure cracked. His face twisted with rage, and as he was being handcuffed, he turned to find Michael standing silently in the background. It didn't take long for Drew to connect the dots. His eyes locked with Michael's, and the fury in his voice echoed throughout the room. "You did this," Drew growled, his voice full of betrayal. "You stabbed me in the back." Michael didn't flinch. "You did this to yourself," he replied coldly. As Dante led Drew out in handcuffs, the entire building was abuzz. News of Drew's arrest spread quickly, and soon the media descended upon the scene. Reporters clamored for statements, and whispers of scandal swept through the business and political communities. For a man who had once positioned himself as a rising star in Port Charles, Drew's downfall was both swift and humiliating. But Drew wasn't finished yet. As he was being led to the transport vehicle, Drew shouted one final threat toward Michael. "This isn't over. I'll make you pay for this. You'll regret ever crossing me." His words were filled with venom, but Michael remained calm. He knew that Drew still had powerful allies, both in Port Charles and beyond. His connections in business, his influence in political circles, and his past affiliations with shadowy figures meant that Drew's reach extended far beyond a jail cell. Michael understood the risks he was taking by bringing Drew down, but he also knew that justice had to be served. Back at the PCPD, Drew refused to answer any questions without his lawyer present. Despite the evidence against him, Drew maintained his innocence, claiming that the charges were fabricated, a setup orchestrated by a bitter rival. However, the financial documents, wire transfers, and internal emails told a different story. As the case against Drew built momentum, it seemed inevitable that he would face serious jail time. But the wheels of power were already turning behind the scenes. Drew's arrest sent shockwaves through the ranks of those who had supported him. Political donors, business partners, and influential figures began making calls, pulling strings, and using every ounce of their clout to mitigate the damage. One such figure, a mysterious financier with ties to international corporations, stepped in quietly, offering legal support and political leverage to help Drew avoid prosecution. Within days, rumors began to circulate that Drew's legal team had found a loophole that could potentially invalidate the charges against him. As Drew sat in his jail cell, he wasn't thinking about defeat, he was thinking about revenge. In his mind, Michael had become the enemy man who had taken everything from him. Drew's hatred burned with a white-hot intensity, and he vowed that once he was free, he would destroy Michael, piece by piece. Whether through legal means, business sabotage, or personal vendettas, Drew was determined to make Michael suffer. Meanwhile, Michael remained focused on what mattered most, his children. Wiley and Amelia were finally home, surrounded by love and stability. Carly helped manage their day-to-day routines, ensuring that they felt safe and protected. Michael knew that the battle wasn't over, and he remained vigilant, watching for any signs that Drew's allies might try to retaliate. Willow, still reeling from her breakup with Drew and her loss in the custody case, kept her distance. She had begun the process of rebuilding her life, but the weight of her decisions hung heavily on her shoulders. Her once bright future had dimmed, and she couldn't shake the feeling that she had chosen the wrong path. As the days passed, Port Charles braced itself for whatever came next. The battle lines had been drawn, and the war between Michael and Drew was far from over. Justice may have been served for now, but with powerful forces moving behind the curtain, the next act in this dramatic saga was already being written. Next, we will dive deep into the intriguing possibility of Willow Tate unleashing a darker, more chaotic side reminiscent of her unhinged twin sister, Nelle Benson. As the drama unfolds in Port Charles, Willow's emotional turmoil following a heart-wrenching custody battle could push her to the brink, transforming her into a character fans may barely recognize. Buckle up as we explore the potential twists and turns in Willow's storyline, with new layers of complexity, behind-the-scenes manipulations, and unexpected alliances that could redefine her place in the General Hospital universe. The courtroom collapse, a turning point for Willow. The courtroom scene where Willow Tate suffered a devastating loss in her custody battle for Wiley and Amelia Corinthos was nothing short of a dramatic earthquake. Her usual calm and composed demeanor shattered as raw emotion poured out, revealing a side of her that even her closest confidants had rarely, if ever, witnessed. This wasn't just a momentary lapse, it was a glimpse into an inner reservoir of pain and desperation that could become a driving force in her future actions. Fans watched in stunned silence as Willow's voice cracked with anguish, her hands trembling while she pleaded for her children. This pivotal moment may have planted the seeds for a darker evolution, one that could mirror the destructive tendencies of her late twin sister, Nelle Benson, whose notorious schemes still haunt Port Charles. Beyond the emotional display, the courtroom setting itself added a layer of tension. The sterile, cold environment of the legal arena contrasted sharply with Willow's warm, nurturing persona as a mother, making her breakdown even more jarring. Whispers among the spectators hinted at unseen forces at play, with rumors swirling that the judge's decision might not have been as impartial as it seemed. Could there be more to this loss than meets the eye? As Willow processes this gut-wrenching defeat, the question lingers, will this be the catalyst that awakens a fiercer, more vengeful version of herself? A fractured bond with Michael, navigating a new reality. In the aftermath of the court's ruling, the already strained relationship between Willow and Michael Corinthos has reached a critical juncture. Michael, now holding sole custody of their children, wields significant control over Willow's access to Wiley and Amelia. While he has expressed a desire for Willow to remain a part of their lives, the trust that once bound them as a unit lies in tatters. Every interaction between them now feels like a delicate dance on a tightrope, With Michael dictating the terms and Willow grappling with the scraps of visitation he might deign to offer. This power imbalance is a bitter pill for Willow to swallow, especially considering her identity as a devoted, hands-on mother. Imagine Willow standing at the gates of the Quartermain mansion, peering through the iron bars at the laughter of her children echoing from within, knowing she can only join them on Michael's terms. This image paints a heartbreaking picture of her longing and loss. Yet, there's a flicker of hope in Michael's willingness to keep the door slightly ajar for her. But will this be enough for Willow, or will the frustration of limited access ignite a spark of rebellion? The dynamic between them could take a more combative turn if Willow refuses to accept her diminished role, potentially pushing her to drastic measures to reclaim her place in her children's lives. Clinging to Drew, a complicated lifeline. Amidst the wreckage of her personal life, Willow's connection with Drew Cain emerges as a complex and emotionally charged lifeline. Their bond, forged in moments of vulnerability and shared pain, has grown into something neither can easily walk away from. Even if Willow contemplates stepping back from Drew to salvage what little remains of her relationship with Michael, the magnetic pull between them might prove too strong to resist. Every lingering glance and late-night conversation only deepens her attachment, creating a tangled web of loyalty and longing that complicates her every decision. Picture Willow and Drew sharing quiet moments at Kelly's diner, their hands brushing over a shared cup of coffee, and aware of the judgmental eyes of Port Charles residents watching from afar. This relationship, while a source of solace for Willow, could also become her Achilles heel. Michael, already wary of Drew's influence, might view this closeness as a threat, further solidifying his resolve to keep Willow at arm's length from their children. The tension here promises to escalate, as Willow must weigh the comfort Drew provides against the risk of losing even more ground with Michael. Could her reliance on Drew become the very thing that pushes her over the edge? Unraveling the custody conspiracy, a dark underbelly. As if the emotional stakes weren't high enough, whispers of a sinister plot behind Michael's custody victory add a chilling dimension to this saga. A cryptic Instagram comment from actor Cameron Matheson, who plays Drew Cain, hinted at a possible blackmail scheme involving the judge who presided over the case. This bombshell, if true, suggests that Willow's loss wasn't the result of a fair trial but rather the machinations of an unseen puppet master pulling strings from the shadows. The identity of this blackmailer remains a mystery, but speculation is rife. Could it be a rival family member with a vendetta, or perhaps someone closer to home with a hidden agenda? Imagine Willow uncovering this scandal through a clandestine meeting with an anonymous informant. The weight of betrayal settling over her as she realizes her children were taken not by merit but by manipulation. The fury that would follow such a revelation could be cataclysmic. Willow, already teetering on the edge of despair, might find this injustice to be the final straw, igniting a firestorm of rage and a thirst for retribution. How far would she go to expose the truth and reclaim her family? This subplot introduces a thrilling layer of intrigue, promising to keep viewers on the edge of their seats as the layers of deceit are peeled back. Channeling Nelle Benson, A Descent into Darkness. The specter of Nelle Benson looms large over Willow's potential transformation. Nelle, Willow's fraternal twin, was a master of deception and chaos, leaving a trail of destruction in her wake before her tragic demise. Now, with Willow's world crumbling, there's a haunting possibility that she might inherit Nelle's penchant for mayhem. The idea of Willow becoming Nelle 2.0 is both thrilling and terrifying, a once nurturing mother morphing into a calculating force of vengeance. This shift could manifest in sinister ways, from subtle manipulations to outright dangerous acts, as she fights to regain control over her shattered life. Envision Willow standing before a mirror, her reflection blurring into memories of Nelle's cunning smirk, as she contemplates crossing lines she once swore never to approach. A chilling scenario could see Willow plotting to undermine Michael's authority, perhaps by sowing discord among his allies or even considering a desperate act like kidnapping Wiley and Amelia to protect them. Such actions would not only mirror Nelle's twisted legacy but also shock the Port Charles community, who believed Willow to be the antithesis of her sister. This dark turn would be a narrative goldmine, exploring themes of nature versus nurture and the fragility of morality under pressure. Nina Reeves' potential intervention, a mother's redemption. If Willow's spiral into darkness becomes reality, one person who might step in to halt her descent is her own mother, Nina Reeves. Nina, who has a complicated history with both Nelle and Willow, would be uniquely positioned to recognize the warning signs of a Benson-style meltdown. Her reaction to seeing Willow channel Nelle's destructive energy could be a mix of horror and determination, a desperate need to save her surviving daughter from a path of ruin. Nina's own past mistakes might fuel her resolve to act as a guiding light, offering a chance for redemption in her fractured relationship with Willow. Picture a tense confrontation at the Crimson office, where Nina pleads with a defiant Willow to see reason, tears streaming down her face as she recalls losing Nelle to her own demons. This emotional showdown could be a turning point, forcing Willow to confront the consequences of her actions through the lens of her mother's pain. Nina might even enlist the help of unlikely allies, such as Sonny Corinthos or Carly Spencer, to stage an intervention, creating a web of support to pull Willow back from the brink. This storyline would not only deepen Nina's character but also highlight the enduring power of family bonds, even in the face of overwhelming darkness. What lies ahead? A roller coaster of drama. As the layers of Willow Tate's story continue to unfold, General Hospital fans are in for a roller coaster of drama, heartbreak, and suspense. From the fallout of her custody loss to the tantalizing possibility of a Nelle-inspired transformation, every twist promises to keep viewers glued to their screens. Will Willow succumb to the darker impulses bubbling beneath the surface, or will she find a way to reclaim her light with the help of those who care about her most? The potential for blackmail scandals, fractured relationships, and unexpected interventions adds a rich tapestry of intrigue to an already gripping narrative. Next, we will uncover the remarkable journey of Nicholas Alexander Chavez, a rising star who has recently been honored as a person of interest by The Hollywood Reporter. From his unforgettable role as Spencer Cassadine on General Hospital to his breakout performances in major Netflix projects, Chavez's ascent in Hollywood is nothing short of extraordinary. Join us as we explore his career milestones, personal reflections, and the lingering mysteries surrounding Spencer's fate in Port Charles, with added depth, fresh perspectives, and imaginative details to paint a vivid picture of this talented actor's trajectory. A star on the rise, Hollywood's newest sensation. Nicholas Alexander Chavez has captured the attention of the entertainment world, earning a coveted spot in The Hollywood Reporter's Person of Interest feature, a showcase for emerging talents poised to redefine Hollywood. Chavez's meteoric rise is a testament to his raw talent and unrelenting dedication. After captivating audiences with his nuanced portrayal in Netflix's Monsters, The Lyle and Eric Menendez story, he further showcased his versatility in the eerie drama Grotesquerie. Adding to his impressive resume, Chavez has signed on for a role in the highly anticipated sequel to the 90s horror classic I Know What You Did Last Summer, signaling that his star power is only just beginning to shine. This whirlwind of opportunities, all within a short span, marks him as a force to be reckoned with in an industry hungry for fresh faces. Beyond the headlines, Chavez's journey feels like a cinematic story itself. Picture a young actor, once navigating the unpredictable waters of daytime television, now walking red carpets alongside industry giants. His name whispered with odd casting calls across Los Angeles. Each project adds a new layer to his growing legacy, from portraying deeply troubled characters to stepping into nostalgic horror franchises. As fans and critics alike buzz with excitement, the question arises, how does Chavez himself process this rapid transformation from soap opera standout to Hollywood's next big thing? His recent interviews offer a window into a mind both humbled and invigorated by the path unfolding before him. Reflecting on Monsters, a career-defining role. Less than a year since the premiere of Monsters, the Lyle and Eric Menendez story on Netflix, Chavez has found himself at the epicenter of widespread acclaim for his haunting performance. In a recent candid interview, he shared the profound impact of the project, describing the surreal experience of seeing audiences connect so deeply with the story. The series, which delves into the complex and tragic lives of the Menendez brothers, struck a raw nerve, resonating with viewers through shared themes of trauma and empathy. Chavez expressed awe at how the narrative transcended mere entertainment, touching hearts in ways that felt personal and transformative for many who watched. Imagine Chavez on set, diving into the emotionally charged scenes, surrounded by a cast that pushed him to new heights each day. He recalls the weight of the material, a stark contrast to the melodramatic flair of daytime soaps, requiring him to peel back layers of vulnerability he hadn't tapped before. Every line delivered was a step into uncharted territory, a challenge he embraced with fervor. The behind-the-scenes camaraderie, late-night script readings under dim trailer lights, and the shared intensity of bringing such a story to life forged memories that Chavez holds dear. This role didn't just elevate his career, it reshaped his understanding of storytelling, leaving an indelible mark on his artistic soul as he navigated the blurred lines between fiction and real human pain. A life transformed, gratitude amidst change. When Chavez reflects on his life just a year or two ago, he describes it as an entirely different realm, a stark contrast to the whirlwind of fame he now inhabits. In his own words, pinpointing a single defining change feels nearly impossible, so much has shifted in such a short time. From auditioning for roles with uncertainty knowing at his confidence to now fielding offers from major studios, the transformation is staggering. Yet, through it all, Chavez remains grounded, expressing heartfelt gratitude for how his career has unfolded. He acknowledges the doubts that once lingered, not just within himself but from family members who question if acting was a stable path, asking, "Are you sure this is the right choice?" Visualize Chavez sitting in a quiet cafe corner during a rare moment of downtime, scrolling through old photos on his phone, snapshots of simpler days before the spotlight found him. Each memory, from scrappy auditions in cramped casting rooms to late-night rehearsals for General Hospital, serves as a reminder of the journey's unpredictability. Now, with validation from industry recognition and a slate of exciting projects, he can look back with a smile, knowing his perseverance paid off. His thankfulness extends beyond personal achievement. It's a nod to every mentor, co-star, and fan who believed in him when the road ahead was foggy. This humility, paired with ambition, hints at a career built not just on talent but on an enduring appreciation for every step along the way. Spencer Cassadine's legacy, a beloved chapter in Port Charles. For longtime viewers of General Hospital, Nicholas Alexander Chavez will forever be synonymous with Spencer Cassadine, the second actor to embody the complex air of the Cassadine dynasty. Introduced as the son of Nicholas Cassadine and the late Courtney Matthews, who tragically died giving birth to him, Spencer's story was steeped in legacy and loss from the start. Chavez took on the role about a year after the third iteration of Nicola's return to the canvas, bringing a fresh energy to a character already rich with history. His portrayal turned Spencer into a fan favorite, especially through the slow-burn romance with Trina Robinson. Affectionately dubbed Sprina by a passionate fanbase that remains vocal about their desire for the couple's reunion. Think of the electric chemistry between Spencer and Trina, their stolen glances at pier-side meetups, and the heart-wrenching obstacles that tested their bond, from family feuds to Spencer's own inner demons. Their storyline unfolded like a classic soap opera romance, complete with grand gestures and devastating misunderstandings, captivating audiences over a sprawling arc. Chavez's ability to balance Spencer's mischievous charm with vulnerability made every scene a masterclass in nuanced acting. Even now, as he conquers new frontiers in Hollywood, messages flood social media with hashtags like #BringBackSprina, a testament to the indelible mark he left on General Hospital. But with Spencer's current status, the question looms, could there be more chapters to this beloved character's tale? A mysterious exit, the unresolved fate of Spencer and Esme. Spencer Cassadine's exit from General Hospital left fans reeling, shrouded in the kind of ambiguity that soap operas thrive on. Presumed dead after a violent confrontation with Esme, Princewo is also believed to have perished. Lack of definitive proof, such as recovered remains, keeps hope flickering for a dramatic return. This open-ended departure is a hallmark of Port Charles storytelling, where death is rarely the final word. Over the years, countless characters have defied the grave, re-emerging with shocking revelations or hidden agendas, and Spencer, with his tangled family ties and unfinished business, feels ripe for such a twist. Envision a stormy night on the outskirts of Port Charles, where Spencer, battered but alive, washes ashore after months of being presumed lost, his mind racing with plans for revenge or redemption. Or perhaps Esme, equally cunning, lurks in the shadows of a distant city, plotting her own comeback to upend lives once more. The possibilities are endless, and Chavez's own soaring career adds fuel to speculation. Could a triumphant return to General Hospital be in the cards during a break between blockbuster projects? Fans cling to theories, from secret alliances with unknown saviors to amnesiac arcs that could reset Spencer's path. The unresolved nature of his and Esme's fates keeps the door ajar for explosive developments, ensuring that Sprina devotees and general viewers alike remain on tenterhooks. What's next for Nicholas Alexander Chavez? As Nicholas Alexander Chavez continues to carve his name into Hollywood's firmament, the future brims with promise. With roles in grotesquerie showcasing his range, and I Know What You Did Last Summer sequel tapping into his ability to thrill, he's positioning himself as a multifaceted talent ready for any genre. Each project builds on the last, weaving a career tapestry that defies easy categorization. Will he delve deeper into gritty dramas that challenge societal norms, or surprise us with light-hearted roles that reveal a comedic flair? Only time will tell, but his trajectory suggests a deliberate blend of risk and reinvention. Meanwhile, back in Port Charles, the ghost of Spencer Cassadine lingers in every corner of the General Hospital storyline, a reminder of Chavez's roots and the emotional anchor he provided for so many fans. Picture a future where Chavez, between filming major movies, steps back onto the familiar set, greeted by cheers from castmates as Spencer's iconic smirk returns to the screen. Whether that day comes or not, his impact on the soap and now the broader entertainment landscape is undeniable. His journey from uncertain beginnings to celebrated person of interest is a beacon for aspiring actors everywhere, proving that with talent, grit, and a bit of luck, dreams can indeed take flight. A story still unfolding. Nicholas Alexander Chavez's ascent is a narrative of triumph, transformation, and tantalizing what-ifs, from his days as Spencer Cassadine to his current status as Hollywood's breakout star. Each chapter of his career, whether on the dramatic stages of General Hospital or the global platform of Netflix, adds depth to an already compelling story. As fans, we're left to marvel at his growth, root for his future successes, and hold on to hope for a Port Charles reunion that could reignite old flames like Sprina. Stay tuned to ABC General Hospital Spoilers channel for the latest on Chavez's projects, and any whispers of Spencer's potential return. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Do you think we'll see him back in Port Charles, or is his Hollywood journey just beginning to soar?